Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Michael Dargie. If you'd like to learn more about the projects I'm working on or read ridiculous, mostly true stories of adventure, please visit michaeldargie.com. Or if you're looking for ideas on moving your brand from myth to memorable, you can buy my book, Brand Jitsu, that's this one right here, wherever you get your favorite books. And if you just need a little inspiration, head on over to our creative intelligence agency, makemorecreative.com. Now, let's meet today's guest. What do a taxi driver, a fertilized egg in the Philippines, and an AI e-commerce startup have in common? Well, Manuel Prinz. He shares his playbook for landing somewhere new, why he can't sit still, and his personal motto to never stop running. Check it out on the Rebel podcast. Welcome to the Rebel. I'm your host, Michael Dargie, and somewhere around the world for me, we're going to find out where. Please welcome to the show, Manuel Prinz. Manuel, how the heck are you?
Great, Mike. I'm doing great. It's a Friday here in sunny California. So yeah, I couldn't get any better, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. I love California. It's my favorite state.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be on your show today. Initially I followed you on LinkedIn for a long time. I've been following you. Right. And that's how I got to know about you. I was like, hey, this guy's super funny. And then I figured out you have a super cool podcast. So
thanks, Manuel.
Yeah, that's why I'm super excited to be here today.
Okay, so as much as I love the praise, this is not about me. It's about you. So here's what I'd like you to do, if you could, for the listeners or the people watching. So Manuel, I mean, you're in California. That's awesome. What is it that you do sort of day to day? What's your thing?
That's a really good question. There is actually quite a few things, and no day looks like the other.
I love it.
Just for a quick context of what I'm doing, I'm actually a co-founder of a AI e-commerce startup. We
amazing
do really cool stuff when it comes to all sorts of e-commerce brands. Along those lines, that's what my day-to-day looks like. So between product management and expanding to new verticals, markets, to figuring out really challenging problems and leveraging cutting-edge AI technology to get there where we want to be and make our customers and the users happy along the line.
Love it. Can you mention the name of this company, or is it hush-hush right now?
Yeah, we are currently in stealth mode, but the cool thing is that we are going public. So we are launching momentarily. And yeah, I can definitely disclose the name of the company because it should soon be out there everywhere. Hopefully, it's called Keep Converting.
Amazing. So let's go back in time, and I would like to know why you, like, what happened to Manuel along the way that made you this entrepreneur diving into this AI space, which is a roller coaster. But were you 5 years old growing up wherever you grew up, and you're just like, I'm going to run a tech company one day?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And it was nothing like that, to be honest. and I'm glad I saw both sides. To your question, I went to the US when I first came to the US was in 2008. But before that, and where I grew up was in Germany. You can probably hear by my accent, I cannot hide it still after 16 years or so in the US. Uh-huh. But I grew up in a very rural part of Germany, close to the city Stuttgart, which, for those not too familiar with Germany or all its cities, there's tons of towns and whatnot. Yeah. It's super close to Frankfurt. But Stuttgart is a very, posh industrial town. The, companies such as Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Bosch, Siemens, all of them are there. It's like this big engineering type of thing. And that was actually my future, going to school. You become an engineer one day and, you work for one of these cool car manufacturers, which, initially resonated with me because I didn't know any better. So...
All right. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so you're on this trajectory to be an engineer in Stuttgart, and I guess what changed? Like, why the zig?
Yeah, so to be honest, I did an internship there. Luckily, my dad forced me into an internship because I was like, hey, I want to quit school. I want to start working for these cool car manufacturers right now.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, no, not so quick. Like, check out this internship and see that if that's for you. And I was actually working on tooling, like screwing stuff and mechanically working day and night, like, hard labor type of stuff. That was what the internship was about. And I was like, wait, is that the engineering job I'm supposed to do? And I was like, maybe that's not for me. I might want to explore some different routes. And that's what was actually a very mind-opening experience, because I realized the actual mechanical engineering route is not my thing. I was not really made for that, to be honest. Even though there's cool things that can be done, it wasn't what I wanted to do. So actually later on into my like studies, until then I still didn't know what I really wanted to do. I was like, okay, engineering is not my thing. Let's look into the business side of things. So I started a university for a business major, econ. And as part of that, and that was actually the defining moment, I thought our school collaborates with UC Santa Barbara in California. It was a one-sided exchange.
Okay.
And it was somewhere hidden underneath the agenda. No one was really advertising it. And no one from my university was going on any exchange because it was just not on the agenda. So I really drilled down to figure out how it works. And I contacted that school at UC Santa Barbara, and they're like, well, yeah, I mean, sure. I think we once set up something, but yeah, let's figure out if you can actually come over and study there for a semester. Long story short, we made it happen. So I came over there and experienced, for me, the first time, a different side, a different continent, first time in the US, and everything was like explosions, fireworks for me.
And you haven't gone back? Yeah, I mean, you must go back, see family, I would imagine.
Yeah, I go see family. They're all still in the old world, which, is great. And I miss sometimes, like, the grass is always greener, but, I'm happy they're still there. And I'm very happy I'm here. So that's that. No, actually, my roommates at university, and I'm very thankful for that, too. They all came from San Francisco and the Bay Area. So one weekend, they actually told me, it's like, hey, this is Santa Barbara. It's like a bubble. It's not what everything is about. Come with us to San Francisco, check out, the city, and we introduce you to some folks. And that was actually when I saw, tech, Silicon Valley, and everything in between. So.
Oh my God. Okay. What was your favorite moment going back in time? So you get to this brand new continent. Surely you'd heard about it. You'd heard about California before. Not that California is a continent, I understand. But, here you arrive in the US, you arrive in California. What's your biggest memory from stepping off that plane?
When I first got off the plane and I saw, how people are getting picked up at the airport with all these big SUVs and, every car is super polished and, not just, from, again, to my initial background from a car manufacturing perspective, I was like, oh, they're driving the biggest cars, that only a small portion of the people in Europe could ever afford, and everyone is like driving that type of car.
Oh my God.
So that was actually like one of the aha moments. But then later in San Francisco, in the financial district, that's still like branded in my head, where I saw, like the investment banker next to, like the skateboarder, next to, the homeless on the ground, like within the same block. That was something still stuck to my head. Like, how does these like three worlds combine and exist in one,
that's
block?
really cool.
That was really, something I've never seen before. Because you have to understand, in Germany, everyone is like leveled, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone is kind of like the same, middle class, same trajectory. Some, like everyone lives in the same type of house. Nothing different.
Yeah. And here you are, like suddenly, in one moment, you experience all the different cultures and the economic variance. That's wild.
Exactly. And that really resonated to me, because everyone was an individual, right? Everyone was their own person. Everyone did their own thing. Everyone had their own dreams. Everyone was chasing something. Everyone was building something. So I was like, wow,
cool.
this is, so cool. This
What's
is an
your favorite?
environment I really want to, further explore. I want to be in that.
Oh, that's so cool. What's your favorite thing that you do on the day-to-day now? Like what gets you up in the morning?
My favorite thing actually is talking to, other companies, other brands, other businesses, because that really helps me to look what's left and right. Because often I get so locked into my, like day to day and about the product, about our own company, growing it, that I forget actually I don't see on a day to day what's left and right. So talking to other, companies, to other entrepreneurs, to other folks, unrelated maybe to what we do, to who our customers are, to get inspiration and to see other sides of, the world, the business,
Cool.
life, whatever it is. So that's really my favorite thing.
Where else have you traveled?
So when I actually opted into joining a startup in San Francisco after my studies, so it was a tech startup.
Yeah,
I was really fortunate to be on the forefront of growing that globally, and with that, I was able to travel, to pretty much every continent and corners of the world, because for us as a tech company, we were a sort of a stripe in the early days called Payment World.
Yeah.
We actually had every business that was online potentially could have been our customer. So that opened up endless possibilities at that point in time. So to your question, I don't want to brag about it because, I know everyone likes to travel and see, but I think I've been to over 100-ish countries now in the world, which, is good and bad. I want to reduce my footprint, in terms of CO2, but at the same time, I never wanted to miss any of these opportunities and insights and experience.
What's been your favorite country, or what's been your favorite place if you had to pick one of your top 5?
Yeah, top 5. I would say Vietnam for me.
Okay.
Because it was so different to what I've seen at that point before.
Yeah.
I've been to other Asian countries and so on, and Japan is, for that matter, also a very, developed country, but very different to the Western developed world, I would say.
Sure. Yeah.
But then Vietnam was, in so many ways, the mentality of the people and the food that was still, to this day. We had an office there in Vietnam, in Hanoi.
Yeah.
So every morning we were served from a local chef that we actually had for the team.
Yeah.
We went to the market every morning at 4 or 5 a.m., bought fish, bought herbs, bought all these ingredients, and cooked the meal like unbelievable. I remember that the first day I got there, it's like, okay, now we're going to the office. We were setting up this Hanoi office. And then the chef would say like, hey, here is a fish soup. And I was like, oh, it's 8 a.m. in the morning, fish soup. Well, with my stomach. And I saw like, he's looking at me like deeply offended. I was like, okay, what did I do? It was like, no, please, I want to try the fish soup.
Yeah.
And I ate that fish soup and it was like, can I have another serving? It was mind-blowing. That's so good. No, from that perspective, I think the people there, super hardworking, super determined, and very sometimes stubborn in a way.
Yeah.
I tried to negotiate on the market for something. The person almost like chased me home to the the apartment I was living in. I was like, okay, you don't negotiate here, you accept what the price is.
Interesting. How important do you think it is for humans to travel to other cultures, to experience other places?
I think it is for, a cultural understanding and for actually valuing who you are and where you're at and, what you can do. I think is so valuable. And everyone, if they have the chance, and so to some extent or to another, should do it. I have 2 kids, and all I want for them too is like experience something similar, just to see a different side of things, because it really makes you reflect, right? I mean, nothing bad with me growing up in my little town in Germany where everything was great, but I would have never seen what's left and right if I would have not, done and explored and said like, hey, now I've been to the US and there's this university, I would love to go and go and see it, right? Because it puts things in perspective, and it makes you look at where you came from or where you were before from a bird's eye perspective.
Love it.
It's like it's also, I see. I mean, news are news and politics are politics. I don't want to get into that, but also from a news perspective, I was like listening to the German European news, and I thought that's it, right? That's like what the world looks.
Sure.
I go to the US and look at the news there. It's like it feels like I'm on a different planet, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get that. When you go to a new place, like, so you've traveled like 100 countries, we'll say. What is the one thing that you always do, or that you've learned to do every time you land somewhere new? What's your move? What's your learn the culture move or embed yourself move?
Two things, yeah. I'm glad you asked. 2 things that might not be new to many, but like those are 2 things I think, at least for me, get me up to speed in no time.
Yeah,
I intentionally, book an Uber or get into a taxi and really use that time. And hopefully, it's a long enough drive from where I want to go initially. But I really use that time to get me the rundown from a taxi driver. It's the best thing ever. Because a taxi driver can give you in like 15 to 20 minutes a complete rundown of what's happening, at least in that city, town, or maybe even the country. It's invaluable experience. Yeah. And the second one is, and I love to do that. That is sometimes not possible, but I love to do it. I go out at night. Usually, I try to do that the first night, depending on when I arrive, and go to a local bar. I go to a local setting. Maybe there's some street, thing going on, whatever it is, and just, go with the flow there. Just get some food or order a drink at the bar, and just make contact with whoever is there. That also it because the cab driver gave me like a good idea. And then I think what the white spots that have to be filled, that I'll get that at that point in time. So,
love it. What's something that you are going to do but you haven't done yet? We only have this much time on this crazy spinning blue marble. So what's left for you?
That's a really good question, and I've been asking myself that every day, because there's so much that I still want to do, or learn and achieve.
Yeah.
It's like I have like always a vision to combine the 2 worlds, where I want to be, that's the old world where I came from, plus the new world, which is the US, and so far I haven't been able to really bridge that. Yes, I go travel back to Germany, see family, but like that's only a couple of weeks out of the year. Yeah. So in a perfect world for me, I would love to combine these 2 worlds and have, a substantial amount of time, with my family at home, and also here where, the business is, and where, where my day to day is. So how that would look like, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that best. But that's actually the next thing on a personal level that I'm trying to achieve while keeping everything running and afloat.
Some balance.
Exactly.
Very cool. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
The craziest thing I've ever done. That's a really good question. In the Philippines, actually, on the island Boracay.
I've been there.
Oh, you've been there? Okay.
I've been there, yeah.
The same crazy thing that I have. So someone like a local, who was there running a business, I think a food business. He had like these eggs related things there, looked like an egg, and was like, kind of like weird. What is that? So he was like, oh, you gotta try that. It's like, what do you want me to try? What is it? And it's like, it's called balut. And I was like, wait, balut? Is that a balloon or like what is it? So explain to me that it's a fertilized egg.
Yeah.
That is, an aphrodisiacum for, whatever you wanted. Experimental as I am, always trying to do new things and explore and get to know the culture and country and all of that. I obviously had to try it. And I had a colleague with me. She was actually really close to throwing up. She couldn't.
You are a brave man. I am not adventurous when it comes to food, and we were at a place where you could have balut, and I said no. I couldn't do it. Like, so kudos to you,
Mike. You gotta try it. You gotta try it. Honestly, it was good. It sounds bad and all of that, but it was good, and I felt great afterwards. So,
well, there you go. But the aphrodisiac.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's really cool. Also cool that you're in Brocai. That's fun. Beautiful.
Why did you go there? Maybe we had some overlap.
Oh God. Before the pandemic, I'd have to say like probably 8 years ago, give or take. It was just before they closed the island down. They closed it down for about a year to solve some of the plumbing issues they had.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that, but I was in 2014 or 15.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we would have been after that. Yeah, probably like 2018, maybe, give or take. Yeah,
it would have been too funny if we were at the same food stand and debating
What a wild time though. And flying into Cebu was quite something. I'm not sure how you got there, but it was a whole different experience. We took my son, who lived in the Philippines for 5-6 years. He said, "Oh, Dad, when you get there, you have to like take the trike. Don't take the hotel bus. You got to take the trike." So we're just like, "Oh, okay." So we ended up taking this little, I forget what they're called, but it's like a motorcycle with sort of a cart attached to it with duct tape.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. These things are so cool, but they are kind of,
anyways,
they're safe.
Yeah. So we went that way. We went all the way to our hotel on one of these things, took the little ferry boat across, and on the other side got back into this thing. And I swear to God, we were going to get killed. It was an incredible experience. Lots of stories, but oh my goodness, talk about a different world.
Dude, yeah, I'm to your point when you said you landed in Cebu, or like took a plane from there. Did you also have one of these like propeller planes and?
Yeah,
I barely made the landing.
Like sideways. Yeah, so fun. What scares the hell out of you?
What scares the hell out of me? That is a good question. I mean, if I have to relate it back to animals, what scares the heck out of me is like when I see a rat or a mouse, I scream like a little baby. So that definitely scares the heck out of me. I don't know what it is, but over the years it got even worse. So luckily I don't see too many around. I hope it stays that way, but
Hilarious.
But as humans, as mice and rats, so that scares the heck out of me. But honestly, what another like side note, and it's not really scary, but I realize once it happens is when, I have nothing to do or try to do nothing. I realize that I'm getting, anxious to a point. I was like, okay, no, I need to keep myself busy. So it's funny. My wife always like says that on vacation, I need, like at least like 2 to 3 days to, kind of like settle a little bit for them to be actually a vacation, because before that, I'm just trying to keep myself busy.
Yeah. You're like a shark. You got to keep swimming.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you are the same way, because all the things that you do, you have to be on your toes constantly. At least that's what it looks like from an external perspective.
Yeah, I don't like to stay still at all. Yeah,
bad. Yeah, we are maybe the same people there.
Yeah, totally. Where's the place that you want to travel to you haven't gone yet? Like, is there a place on your list where you're just like, oh, I totally got to go to Banff?
Yeah, and I was just talking about that with a friend of mine, because he's going to move to Australia. And
yes.
I've never been to Australia.
Me either.
Let's go.
All right. off to Australia. Yeah, they're our cousins. They're our sister country. Canada and Australia. We're samesies, but they're
Yeah,
upside
you
down.
have best buddies. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it's funny that you've never been there either, but that's really on my bucket list. It's always been on my bucket list, but I mean, it's so far away, and nothing had a line from any like perspective for me to go. But
well, one day maybe you'll see. You look like a pretty fit guy. Looks like you get out at least for walks. Probably you're probably like maybe you're a runner. I don't know. Maybe you're like a triathlete. I don't know. Picture if you will.
That makes me feel better, after sitting on my desk.
Let's say you're out for a walk, and I don't know if you have a favorite place to go for a walk, clear your head, and maybe there's a favorite time of day. I'm just going to make this up. Let's say it's along the ocean, and if you're in the Bay Area, maybe it's along the boardwalk there. I'm not sure, and maybe it's late afternoon. It's not oppressively hot, still nice and humid. It's pleasant, and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, "Oh, Manuel, I wish the world knew this one thing." What is the one thing that you wish the world knew?
That the journey is the goal. It sounds so, cliche, but the journey is the goal. There is no end state of anything, right? Because I've seen myself like until now trying to chase things, and it's like, oh, if I accomplish this and that and that,
yeah,
and similar to your question, what you had earlier, what is it that I want to achieve, or where go, or what's next? I kind of like learned to really embrace going or like working towards something, trying to achieve steps or getting closer to where you want, but then embrace that along the way, because often and throughout my career too, it's like going to the office every day and doing this, it's like it's boring, I don't want it, it's like it's BS, right?
Yeah.
But when I approach it with a different mindset, it's like, hey, that's the journey. It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Take whatever you can out of it. Even if it might be the most stupid task that you see or have to do, like try to figure out what can you get personally out of that, or something that makes it worthwhile. And that's how I look at things. And often I have a feeling, and then I see myself there too. I have to remind myself constantly about that too. But I feel like people are chasing things, and hoping when they reach a certain step, they will be in the state of, complete happiness. But this just never exists, right?
Yeah,
the human being is not made for that. So, and I mean that's what I personally found out, that if I approach things and look at the world with that with that mindset, everything can be great.
I love that. That's amazing. I feel bad even asking a second question. It's not even really a follow-up question, but that was so perfect. But there's these people in the world. I call them rebels in waiting. And if you imagine for a second, it could be, Manuel back in the day in Stuttgart and deciding he wants to go to an American school, or he wants to, broaden his horizons. Back in that time, you were a rebel in waiting. You're just in that in-between moment of, between wanting and doing. And what I'm wondering is, what advice do you have for others that are in between wanting and doing?
Every time you want to do something, or you have some idea, right? That idea or that something is in your head, I believe, for a reason. And if it stucks, if that thought or whatever you want to do persists in your head, even if you sleep at night and it's still there, it's there for a reason, right? When you then try to figure out, like, hey, how can I get that thought out of my head by talking it bad, right? It's like, oh no, because I have a reason to not do it, or no, it might not work because of XYZ.
Yeah.
And then you talk to other people and they're telling you the same thing. Then you feel empowered not to do it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a trap that a lot of people fall into. So it sounds so stupid, and often it's the easiest thing to actually do. It's like, just just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. If you have something in your head, like go chase it, as there's, nothing else that, is there for you to do.
I love it.
It's funny because my mom always told me back in the days, it's like, it's just like, I gave up to convince you from not doing something, because I knew once you had an idea, there was like 0 point in talking you out of it, because you would just go and do it. But I wasn't always like that. It came over time. It came over time when, I really pushed through it, with whatever you do. I mean, founding your own business too, right? That's the best example. Like, you would probably like find 1,000 people that tell you, not to do it because XYZ will not work. Right? Yeah. And you start to believe that, right? If you listen to that. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to get advice. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to, say that, never get advice and just do it like stupidly. No, I mean, have a solid assessment. But if a thought is stuck in your head and, it doesn't go away, then there's only one way to figure it out. You got to go for it. Yeah, you might run against the wall. Happens, right? Yeah. But totally. Right?
That's awesome. What do you have? A words that you live by? Do you have a personal motto? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, mine is to do cool and weird shit with cool and weird people. Like, that's my mantra. If I'm not doing that, then I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So, do you have something like that that's your guiding star?
Yeah. For me, it's like never stop running. Never stop running. And that can also be meant literally. It's like you said I look like a runner. I wish I would be. It's like I run a little bit, but not like for miles.
Yeah.
I think if one day for me I stop running, then that would be the end state. And I never wanna get there,
Yeah.
Maybe if you interview me in like 20 years from now, I might say like, hey,
can we just stop?
It's like I stopped. No, but I always want to keep going, because that's what drives me, and I love yours. I should maybe polish mine up to make this sound so much cooler.
Hilarious. Oh, man. Well, this has been awesome. I've had so much fun. Where can people learn more about you and connect with you? We'll put it all down in the show notes.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, like LinkedIn is probably, the best thing for me at this point. Manuel Prinz, I post, not frequently, but I do. And I love to, chat with people, but also, I'm around. I make myself available like throughout. I go to a lot of meetups, conferences, nice. In any, space. And maybe in one of the random cab drives from the airport, to the next spot, or at the local bar, where I'm trying to get more information. Maybe there I run into someone. Hopefully you awesome. Too. I'll see you in Australia. That's where I meet you.
Yeah, sounds perfect. I'll see you there.
Great.
Thanks for listening to the Rebel podcast, a show for creative rebels and entrepreneurs who think audaciously and act courageously in the service of making the world a better and more interesting place. Visit michaeldargie.com for more adventures, the rebelpodcast.com for every episode, and makemorecreative.com to access all our cool tools. Until next time.